think we can share them. Well, not this one. Well, no, that's a little information. So, all the orders done, introductions are done. I'm waiting for Mary. You're signing in, or guests are signing in, right? So we have very little in the way of new business today. Although I understand there's some things that may be coming from the neighborhood, and I've already talked about, prepared for some of those things. And then online, we're not going to be able to get online questions until a little bit later if you're online. The individual who's manning that is just coming just a few moments late. So just bear with us as we go through that. Oh, they are ours. I'll give them back. All right, good job. So protect the person that's in the background. So we've got a treasurer's report. We want to talk to you about some of the events that we've done, and then we've got some things for tennis and pickleball, and then we had our executive session earlier where we're just taking care of the general business of the HOA that we have to handle in private. And we do have probably the biggest part of the meeting is an update on projects. We've had a lot of projects going. The walls have been patched, the walls are painted, patched. The pool, massive, we have a massive project, and kids are in the pool tonight. We've already gotten our certificate for the year. We're ahead of schedule. And I walked out there and met with the swim team today, and we got all of that done in just in time. And thank you. That was a tight project. So I guess the most important thing to do is to, in my opinion, is to roll into the treasurer's report before we talk about events and do you need to do that now? Do we need to summarize the question? Okay, do you want to?
Okay. So the executive session summary, the board reviewed 27 collection accounts to be turned over to the association's attorney. We're going to now formally approve that in open session. So do we have a motion for the 27 accounts that we discussed in executive session to be turned over to the association attorney and approve the suspension of the owner's right of the amenities, refer them to the association's attorney for further legal action in accordance with the Texas Property Code. Such actions may take but are not limited to following the application for expedited posting a notice for foreclosure, proceeding with foreclosure sale, and filing a lawsuit. And the actions will be initiated if the homeowner fails to request a payment plan, request a hearing, or make a payment in full within the 45 days after the demand letter is sent.
I'll make a motion to do so. Ed, I recognize the motion. Do you have a second? Sam seconds the motion. Just for the individuals that are here or listening in no cases have any of the individuals asked for forbearance, asked for a payment plan, have entered into or asked for compromise negotiations. They have been silent parties throughout communications, and so it's not our goal to be bad guys, but they're non-responsive. And so in the best interest of the HOA, now all those opposed to moving forward with the who's on the council and election, say aye. Right. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. That's one of the best things we have to do, but I assure you, we do everything that we can trying to work things out. We are at 95% collected for the year. We have, as compared to other HOAs, we're running a pretty tight ship financially, and that's really, that speaks well to the quality of the homeowners and their involvement. So it's a very small percentage, but we made every effort to trying to work things out. There was another item in executive
Yes.
session for violations.
There were two other items. There was also 5 attorneys, 7 court items for 5 authorizations to proceed, 5 accounts to proceed with authorization, for judicial foreclosure.
I make a motion to.
We have a motion from Ed, do we have a second?
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes.
Okay, we have that. And then the last one in executive session was the board may consider and vote on levying fines on voters who violated or violated the association governing documents, consider and vote on deed restrictions and violation matters, and approve referring accounts to the association's attorney for enforcement actions, including but not limited to filing a lawsuit if the homeowner fails to request a hearing or result in violation within 30 days after the demand letter is sent, in accordance with the Texas Property Code and the association documents.
I make a motion.
Second.
Yes.
Any objections? Motion passes.
Motion passes. Okay, that was all that we had for executive session.
Do we need to discuss the, tennis court,
That's
violations? New business? Okay, and, there's no questions, we'll move into the treasurer's report.
So, we're having quarterly board meetings, so I have a quarterly report for financials for the first quarter. You can see our overall financial status, income to date that we approved, our expenses, and our surplus is significantly better than we had budgeted. And I'll talk a little bit about that in the future slides. As Frank said, we're at 95% assessment collection, which is good. The balance sheet, we're balanced, total assets of $3,596,132, and our capital allocation, as we'll look, has improved significantly since last year. Our total assets and capital are $170,000 compared to the first quarter of 2020 loan balance of the peninsula. As far as the balance, variance or income, we've collected additional almost $30,000 of income in the first quarter and what we had budgeted. We had over 45,000 that we did not implement during the first quarter. Pool landscaping and other maintenance projects have not been done at this time. Our basic operations were under budget, which is good. That has to do with the lights and the power and the water and the maintenance of the grass and all the other things. So we're within budget on all of those. So the next item is tennis courts.
Yeah, so, it's just, we understood there was going to be some from the neighborhood this week, about tennis courts today. No, so I'll give you a summary of what's going on. We have been on a reservation system, with a different reservation system, come back to another reservation system, as we're trying to just have a system that works for everyone. Apparently people are logging in and looking up, courts for months in advance. And we have the policy is you can't book for more than 2 weeks. So it keeps popping back to us, this is a problem. There was 2 requests, one to extend the hours until 11 p.m. and the other was to change it to a first come, first served. In the matter of the first question, I think provisionally we're comfortable extending to 11 p.m. because but courts are not near our home. If it becomes a problem, the sound travels across the lakes, and if it becomes a problem, we're going to pull it back to 10 o'clock. So that's provisionally, we're going to make that change. We have lights there. In terms of the reservation system, Infomark is going to cancel everybody's long-term reservations. That's where it's the policy to begin with. We are going to, perhaps right now, craft a new policy that if we have people abusing the system, we're going to give them notice that they're not to use the system. If they do it again, they'll be removed from the reservation system for a month. If they do it again, they'll be removed from the reservation system for 2 months, so forth and so on, until the abusers are no longer using the reservation system, because it's a shared asset. So you just can't look it out for the rest of the year. So, we have a motion to generally agree with that.
I make a motion that we agree to extend the hours of the tennis court provision to 11 p.m. and a motion that we're going to continue to work on the reservation system and address the abusers of the system and not remove the reservation system at this time.
So, yes, any more opposed? No comments from our neighborhood, so we're gonna do it. Yes, ma'am. It's on. So we'll approve that. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to communicate with the neighborhood. In particular, we're going to communicate with the individuals that are violating our policies. So they know, but again, we're not here to be bad guys. We want everyone to know these are the rules. We're going to abide by the rules. And the individuals who are breaking the rules, we're going to inform them, contact them directly. And then we're going to cut them off if they use it. We have to share everybody. Sure. You want to?
Yeah, but they can't hear you well, right?
When I make a reservation, and then I know that I need to cancel that reservation. So then a reservation that week. And I called about it and they said it takes a week for the system.
We will continue looking for reservation systems until we find one that works. 80% of the people with this.
I don't know.
We've been to this a couple times, and we run into yet another, solve one problem, and create 2 more. We'll just keep working at it. That's all that's all that we can, drop on. I guess before we move out of the treasurer's report, I think this is point of information for everyone. We are going to commission a new reserve study. Our last one was 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago. We've had a lot of projects that have been going on. We have, and it's kind of like one day you drive by and think it's a pretty visual. You get close, there's work to be done on our window, there's work to be done on the wire. Here's projects that we need to do. And so, Ed's done a phenomenal job. Pool just opened. for the swim team, it's not open, a little bit later for the neighborhood. Matt, I don't know if you've driven by, the massive projects here, chipped out the tile, we serviced it. We've already got our certificate and we're ready for summer, on time. We're massive. Hopefully they get this for, getting all that done. Every time we do make. At some point, we have to come back and redo the reserve study because it changes our forward-looking capital cash requirements. And so, while it looks like we have a ton of money in the bank at $3 million, we're already thinking about where that money is going to be going next year and the year after. And some of it's servicing debt, some of it's going to landscaping, some of it's going to pools and whatever. And so we are not living hand to mouth and we're not planning, for the weekend. We're doing long range planning. So to support that, we're going to have a new reserve study commissioned, and it may be towards the end of the year or the first of next year that we'll be able to provide the community a report that allows you to see what our deferred liabilities are, our future liabilities, our cash positions, and our strategy to be able to support all of our future, cash requirements. So we're in the process of doing that, and even though some projects have pushed back out of Q1, we still have things planned on our budget. It gets kind of difficult to do things when the pool is open and other things are going on. Also, landscaping you can't do in the summertime, so we have a window to get things done. So some things may roll over, but I assure you we're working hard. We've got a long list of projects that Ed is we're continuously working to not just maintain, but improve where we can the neighborhood. So we have, actually Beth is not here tonight and she's at an event. She's managing the online meeting though. But Roshni was not able to be here. She was going to talk about our events calendar. We've had a great year so far. We had Lunar New Year. Sam did a phenomenal job of driving that. We had another holy celebration. We had a 7,000 egg hunt, and this year I think was probably our best egg hunt in terms of it was more successful in terms of the neighborhood knowing how we're doing things. And we had 2 flights of children. It went very well. I think everyone was happy. We had an Eid celebration that was a little bit smaller than last year, but from what I understand, it also went very well. In the near term, we have a pool opening. We're already talking about what we're going to be doing for the 4th of July. In the last couple of years, we've had a little small parade, decorate your bike, dog, and wagon. We had the U.S. Army here before. We have a request in for a flyover, but federal budgets are what they are. But we did make the amenity center available to them for a recruiting event. I think we're going to make the amenity center available for them again later in the year near Veterans Day. The Navy Week is coming to Texas for the first time. So it's coming to Houston, actually. So there will be a handful of ships from the whichever fleet is going to be rolling into Houston. And so we may have a Navy-oriented event for Veterans Day. I think we're going to do the Disney Day again at the pool. We had Disney Princesses here last year. I think that was pretty well received. We may have done that on Father's Day weekend, so that's coming up pretty quick. If we're going to do it, we have to reserve our Disney people. One thing that we wanted to hopefully get off the ground today was Christmas decorations. So, we've been pretty tight-fisted in the last couple of years as we've tried to plow through all of our debt, and we were hoping to create a committee to help us balance budgets and designs. We have some designs that we've been working on for a while, and they're a lot of money.
And we want to make sure that, how many years can we get out of, for instance, these giant deer? We can actually buy them for a fraction of what we were renting them for. So we're at that point now where we are soliciting volunteers who want to be on the decorations committee for the coming year.
Yeah, they don't have to do work. It's just a matter of being involved and assisting in developing the design, what we actually put out and don't put out, where we put it out, when we put it out, and the grunt work will be contracted, but we just need some volunteers to work on the design part of it.
And plus, we've been doing multi-year designs for landscaping, for the decorations, for events, so that it's just easier. And so we've got a rotating, as things fall off, new things will come in, so that it makes it a lot easier on our budget for us to plan. So I hope that we get some volunteers that will want to join in on that. Coming up, we have events later in the year, but that's as far as we wanted to go on. Those are the near-term events. And with that, I think where we at on our agenda. This was a quick meeting today. Do you want to talk anything more about your projects? All right.
As Frank said, we just completed last week restoration of the clubhouse. We did a complete cleaning of the exterior and repainting the exterior. The roof has been renovated as well. We've changed out all the jacks and all the pieces that are aged over time and would cause leaks. So we've fixed the roof, we've done the exterior, and we've also done the interior, and we've changed the color of the interior to what you see. So now it's all a ranch motif, I'm going to call it. So we've gotten rid of the gray, the gloomy grays in here. And along with this, we've the bathrooms were repainted last year, but all of the fencing that you see around the pool area as well as the playground has all been repaired. The rust preventative has been applied and new paint. So right now everything up here is going to be squeaky clean. As far as the pool, we added an additional funbrella, which pretty much bills us out on putting in umbrellas in areas that are not that don't interfere with the swim team activities. The only thing we have left to do is last year we replaced half of the they call them slings, but the lining of the chairs that we have. We replaced half of them last year, and we're replacing the other half, and that'll be done before the May 13th opening. So we're pretty much up to snuff. We've painted and fixed just about.
Wasps get taken care of yet?
Yeah, we've had wasp issues, and we did two things. One, we've hired a new. Last year, we hired a new exterminating company that's doing a very good job. But we also we found that the tables that we had at the splash pad were conducive to having pockets where it's attractive for wasps to grow. So we've taken out all those tables and replaced them all with new ADA compliant tables, and that was just done 2 weeks ago. So that's been done. We also we put up, I'm calling them after hours monitoring cameras. They're not security. They do notify us when somebody after hours. They're set up to work from dark to dawn is the hours. They provide photos back, and we're going to probably add one additional camera there, and we need to do some repositioning. We're just trying to keep an eye on the park and make sure the park is used for what it's intended to use for. We also 2 weeks ago we had the gate completely reworked.
to get it to where it's actually now closing and opening on a time schedule. So now we can close it off. And I've noticed on these alerts that I get that there's no more cars in the parking lot at 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night. We still have some teenagers that float by during the night and sit in the pavilion for an hour or so, but they're not tearing anything up. So I think we're getting a better handle on that with just getting the gate closed and making it a little more difficult for somebody to just come in off the street. Yeah.
People riding motorized straps in the slash pad and we got good things going on. It's just all kind of evaporated and gone away. Spring break, nighttime pool parties. So.
Yeah, the other, I'm going to call it a major project that we've got going on is I'm getting bids right now, and we're basically, since the clubhouse is the cornerstone of our neighborhood and should be the eyepiece for it, we're going to completely take all the landscaping out in front of the building and replace it with all same size and get a more consistent look and beautification to the front. Right now we've got old shrubs, new shrubs, halfway shrubs, the wrong kind of shrubs. So we're going to just wipe it all out completely. So within the next, I would say, hopefully within the next month, we'll get that taken care of.
The ADA lift is in?
The ADA lift is in at the pool. So now we're ADA compliant with the pool.
And we're looking at, it may not be this year, but it might be, maybe not, another ADA swing, adding more like 7-year-old swings at the other park, at the splash pad park. Yeah. I think that's about
Just please keep in mind when we do open up to homeowner forum, this is going to be of general concern. It's not going to be of any private matters. If there are private matters, you can contact the management company for us to respond. It does state on the agenda to contact us prior so you can be placed on the agenda, because all private matters will have to be discussed in executive session. So I'll pass the mic to anyone who needs it.
Hello. So I submitted a question to be addressed in this meeting, and that is specifically for our cul-de-sac or our parquet. I have contacted a couple meetings back. I contacted you guys to give me a name as to who is managing the trees and the landscaping in that area. And you guys gave me a name of a gentleman. I contacted him a few times to the point where he actually said I was harassing him. So I stopped contacting him, but my simple questions to him was, when were some of the trees going to be replaced?